welcome to the Wednesday night edition of the Blitz Pickup. You already know what time it is. We got the combine officially one day away. I think tomorrow is when everything they start doing drills and things like that. So obviously we're gonna get into some combine talk, but we're focusing today on our receivers. We already talked about linebackers and things of that nature. Today we'll be doing receivers. We're gonna talk about our wide receiver room. I personally feel like no more short receivers. Everyone needs to be 6'2" or above. And then we're gonna also get into some targets. When do we think we should target our receivers? Is it first round, second round? Whenever we feel like we should be targeting our receivers. But before I get into all that, let me bring up my co-host Lou. What's good, Lou?
Tone, what's good, dog?
Hey, Lou. What's good? How you been today? How you doing?
Hey, you know what, Tone? You know what? I'm glad you asked me. Should I ask you how my performance was on last Friday's episode?
I'm glad you said that. What do you think about my name? What do you think
Oh, that. Hey, you know what, Tone? That fits pretty well, man. You know what I'm saying?
you think
I can't lie.
what do you think about me being a personal consultant? I mean, you asking my opinion. So
Yeah, yeah.
obviously you asking.
Well, obviously, Tone, it's okay because me and you are friends, so it's okay for you to, you know. Like, what are we talking about, Tone?
Hey, listen, man. I need to try to y'all ask me answer a question. Now I don't know if y'all was there earlier. Y'all know what we're talking about. Lou been, I gotta call my brother out. Lou been finding any and every reason to talk trash about Jeff Hafley. So, apparently
I made the man say that, Tone. I made the man say
I
that.
didn't say you made the man say nothing. I'm just saying. I'm just saying that apparently, consulting with individuals that aren't coaches is a forbidden law. I think a forbidden rule. I'm sorry. I think we're not supposed to do that. So, according to Lou over there, me personally, it's not my. I shout out, son. I see you, my boy. Now that's not my way of approaching things. But I I could understand when someone else, you know, may not see things or handle things the way that I would personally handle it. But boy, for Lou, man, he started off with the fire Hafley, and he's going to find any and everything to make it seem like this man is his word, not mine. Trash. You can't. Don't ask no questions.
The
You
man
got
the man literally said, "Did we play hard enough?"
it.
What am I supposed to do with that, Tone?
Listen, oh, I'm not gonna lie. Hearing how agitated that got you was, listen, that was some of the funniest stuff I've heard in a while, bro. I was dying. Now, I mean, I tend to agree with you, right? From me, my personal standpoint, and the way I am, the way I move, I wouldn't typically do what he's done or what he said or say what he said. Let me put it like that. If y'all don't know what we're talking about, listen, I had to address it because I know Lou had me dying laughing all day. Hafley had an interview, y'all know, out there in the combine. They did a couple of interviews, like two or three a piece, him and Hafley and Sully, and separately, I might add. And Hafley told who that was, Rich Eisen, right? Lou.
Now that was him, Jeff Hafley, and John Eric Sullivan were sitting down with Rich Eisen. Yes, it was the Rich Eisen show.
All right, take over real quick, Lou. How's my mic? It seems like my mic is not.
Well, no, I can hear you. You sound fine, but I don't think your mic is actually on.
I got it. Go ahead, take over. Let me see something.
Yeah. So basically, what Tone was kind of saying, there's an interview that's floating around, and it's a good listen. I'm not gonna take that away. But Jeff Hafley did say some things that, again, for me at least, is a little concerning. Basically, he was saying that he almost after every game last season would call or text John Eric Sullivan to ask him if the team played hard enough or what he thought. this, that, and the third. And all I'm saying is, bro, John Eric Sullivan is part of the front office. I don't like, again, Tone, when I hear you pose the question, did the team play hard enough? Dog, you just were on the sideline for 3.5 hours. Like, if you don't know if the team played hard, what am I supposed to do with it? Again, this is a news flash for everybody, Tone, right? This is the guy that's supposed to be our leader. You know what I'm saying? And you mean to tell me our leader has to talk to a guy that sits in a leather chair if the team played hard enough? Nah, bro, I'm sorry. Hey, y'all can miss me with all that. Listen, y'all can play that PC stuff if you want to. I don't have a PC bone in my body. That shit sounded weak and soft, and I don't like it. I'm gonna be honest with you. I do not like it. Tone.
Here we go.
Again, Tone, I'm gonna ask you the same thing I've been asking. What am I supposed to do with that, dog?
Hey, I don't know. I sound better now? Is it good?
You good. Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know, but I'm gonna tell you how you sound right now.
Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. Both teams play hard. God bless and good night.
No, I'm gonna tell you right now. That's the answer. That's the answer Sully told Hafley. Both teams play hard. Like, bro, what are you talking about? Did the team play hard? What?
All right, let me address that. I always say this. Listen, man. Me personally, I would never. I don't, like I told you guys earlier. From how I was raised and how I just carry myself, I'm not in the business of asking, things like that from, if I'm working under someone, so if it's my boss or someone like that, I could assess how I'm doing. And if someone, let's say one of my superiors or a supervisor or whoever, the owner of the company, if they was to come and give, let's say, even if it's criticism, if it's constructive criticism, I'm welcoming with all that because I don't mind. But as far as, it's not as bad as what Lou think, because what Lou trying to make it seem. I believe you shouldn't have to go and ask that if you understand what you're doing, and because you're the head coach, you're supposed to be able to put on that film or assess the game while you're in there, which is hence in-game adjustments, or how you see coaches or teammates or players gather the team up on the sideline, and they be laying into each other. You pick up on that right then and there on the field. So yeah, I understand that, but from my standpoint, it's if that's what he need to do, and if to get this team to play at its top to its optimal level, I'm cool with that. If that's what he need to do for him to operate, at his best or at his peak, I'm all cool with that. It's just not something I would do because I just was never that type of person. I feel like now I said it felt like he was looking for validation or not a consultant. He was looking for him to consult to see if give his takes or how if he sees something that he hasn't seen, and it comes off as if you're not confident in what you're doing, and some could maybe look at it as, man, like you don't trust in yourself. If you don't trust in yourself and your assessments and your knowledge, him and Sully close. So maybe they have that relationship to where it works for them. I'm all fine with that. But you do run into people like Lou that'll look at you and say, man, what this man doing? He don't know what he's doing. Me personally, do I prefer that he would have said that? He should have kept that to himself.
Man, and that man Tone might call Troy Aikman during the season and ask Troy Aikman, hey, how do we? Yeah, didn't you say? Yeah, ain't Troy Aikman a correspondent or whatever, or a consultant?
I guess whatever they call him.
Okay, well they told me he was a consultant. So according to what I just heard, Jeff Hafley might be calling everybody he knows to see if the Dolphins played well on Sunday.
Oh, here we go. Don't overdo it now. Well, I would say so. Listen, if that's what he need to get the job done, and he become a better coach for that, cool. More power to you, Jeff Hafley. I would say the only.
I think we should have hired John Eric Sullivan as our head coach. That's what I think.
I mean, he's the GM, so maybe him and Sully. I mean, Sully and Hafley have that type of relationship where they understand that they could come to each other for different things, and they just understand each other. I'll give it to them, So don't shoot the messenger, Lou. And I do think. Let me say something. I do think as a GM, because I know Lou don't like it. Just because you don't play the sport of football, or may have not played the sport of football, and you probably never coached a down in your life, I don't think that you cannot give your assessment and advice.
Tone, real quick, right? Now, I'm not talking to you. I'm not talking to our good friend EM. I'm not talking. I'm talking to idiots, and I'm sorry, right? I'm sorry. Idiots like this right here. The report is false. So you mean to tell me the video I watched of Jeff Hafley saying what he said was false? Is that what you're telling me? Now, Tone, when I played that clip, did he say anything about team captains that he was asking?
Yeah. I don't know. Idle Man 12. Maybe you don't understand what we're talking about. This is an interview that he said. This is not speculation. This is not reports. This is nothing like that. This is him coming directly from him, explaining how he would confine in
John
Eric Sullivan
and
ask him. And he said sometimes he would text him while they was even still on the plane and ask him what did he saw, did the team play well, and ask for his opinions on things like that. So this is not speculations or reports. This is not a report. This is him. So yeah, you got to try again, my brother. Well, I mean, listen, that don't necessarily mean you suck. But I would say this. I ain't want to say this on space. I wanted to wait till I get over here. I would rather him do that and seek someone else's opinion, an outside opinion, or someone that he trusts, rather than act like you know everything. So to me, I look at it from that standpoint. And listen, man, I'm a personal consultant. I'm here to offer my services, my good brother. If you need someone to consult and confine within, come look at me, and I'll give you my opinion whether I feel like the team play hard or not.
Yeah, I mean, if you need someone to coach the team,
ain't no wrong with that.
No, there's nothing wrong with that. But if you need another person to coach the team for you, I mean, just call the consultant. I mean, that's fine. That's cool.
Go coach the team for you. See, that's Lou being overboard. I'm not gonna get into it.
Is that not what the man said?
He's not the coach the team. You know what? I'm not gonna listen. Insanity got me last show. I'm not gonna let you drag me into. Can we get into the show? You're not gonna drag me into this. You're not. Hey, I ain't seen my brother Em. Come get this man, Em. I'm trying to do it, Em. But this man here. But listen, man. Let's get into the show, Lou. We got some receivers to talk about. I know you.
Absolutely.
You can't wait for the combine. But before we get into the combine, wide receiver room too small. What do that mean? Listen, no more of these short guys. As you notice, the guys that I got on the screen are short, below 6 foot guys. Is those one Waddle or Malik Washington or Taj Washington? Cool, especially if you got like the skill set of a Jaylen Waddle. But to have a full wide receiver room made up of those type of receivers, I think is just not on any time. I don't care what scheme you're running. I don't care what team you run. You need variety. You need something to keep the defense off guard. If all of your wide receivers fit the same profile, then they really only have to scheme up and prepare for one type of wide receiver. Right? There's no, what you call that, counterpunch. There's no switching up the game plan, so to speak, when, let's say, get more physical. You don't have that ability when all your receivers are short. So if you have something, hold on, Lou. Go ahead, Lou.
Yeah. So basically, what Tone is illustrating, well, let me say this: our wide receiver room is probably, well, I don't even want to say probably. It is one of the worst in the league. Um, Outside of Jaylen Waddle, and again, to Tone's point, a small wide receiver. Everybody is small and kind of does the same thing. Like Malik Washington, I like him as a player, but he's just small. And realistically, he's a third wide receiver, maybe fourth wide receiver. Again, he's good on special teams from a return kind of aspect, but is he a kind of guy that you, I mean, as of right now, currently, he's your number 2 wide receiver. And I'm sorry, bro, you can't have that. It's the Taj Washington, virtually unknown, hasn't really played for us. Then we got the guys like Theo Weiss and the Terrence Marshall Juniors. We don't know what those guys are really like that neither. Tone, I'm with you. Just having a bunch of small, fast guys, it's not going to work in this league, especially when you line up against teams that play a lot of press man, can get you, rub you off your routes, this, that, and a third, can get physical with you. To your point, it's you don't have the threat of a guy that can go in the seam and make a contested catches or run up the sideline, climb the ladder like you always hear, and can go get maybe a 50-50 ball. We have none of those guys on our roster. So to me, Tone, we talked about, to your point, linebackers, corners, now we're going to talk about wide receivers. In my opinion, bro, whether Waddle's here or not, and we'll get into that here in a little bit, you need to diverse the room because, again, bro, it's, to me, Tone, looking at it, outside of Waddle, you could argue that this is one of the worst wide receiver rooms in the league, bro.
Ooh, yeah.
It's not good outside of Waddle. So I'm with you, man. I think we need to get some size. And again, a lot of for the past couple of years, it was all predicated on speed. Tone, I'll ask you, are you willing to give up a little bit of speed for size? Like if I told you you're going to get the size you want, but the guys might not be the 4.3 guys. They might be more 4.4, 4.5 guys. Would you be okay with that?
Yeah, as long as they have football speed. Now, I mentioned this earlier before, for the people that was listening, on past shows and past episodes. Jerry Rice ran a 4.6. Didn't stop him from becoming the greatest wide receiver in history. You understand? So it's a thing. It's a certain thing called football speed. As long as you have football speed, that's all that really matters. And if you have good technique, one thing about when you have a bigger physical running back, he could break tackles. And just because a guy run a 4.3 or a 4.4 and I run a 4.5, I still can break away and score. It still take you some time to catch me, catch up with me. It's not like, 4.3 and 4.5, I'm just going to go catch you like that. No, it don't work like that. We seen when DK Metcalf ran down with a Buda Baker, it took him the whole field to catch him. So keep that in mind when we're talking about speed. I would, one thing, big body receiver, and we're going to talk about this in the second topic. One thing bigger body receiver can do, they can body you. They can just get in possession. You know how you need 3rd and 3? You want to run that quick slant? With a smaller receiver, they got to win every time. A bigger receiver, listen, I just need you to post up, basically. Go look at what Patrick Mahomes was doing with Travis Kelce for the most part. Hey, man, either he's finding an opening or he's turning around and posting up, using that big body frame so they can't get around you. Or if you have a taller guy, throw it up there, let him go up and get the high point the football. There's a lot more to receiving or football, period, than speed. Speed is a big component of it, yes. And people will prefer to have that more often than not. But give me a 4.5 guy that know how to get open, that know how to run routes, that are smart, that understand coverages. I'm fine with that. So yeah, Lou, I would most definitely, especially with the team that I'm looking for, that I hope that Jeff Hafley and Eric Sullivan, Sully, let me call my dog Sully, and Sully, the team that I hope that they build, yeah, get more of a big body receiver. But I want to ask you a question, Lou. Waddle, if you had, let me not say if you had, because I know you probably would prefer to get rid of them. Percentage wise, what percentage do you think Waddle would be gone next season? Gets traded. Let me say gets traded. Let me say get traded.
Yeah, after hearing what I've been hearing here recently from what Sully and Hafley are saying, I'm gonna say 50-50. They're saying all the right things. They're saying they want to build around Waddle. They look at him as one of those foundational pieces. It's just hard for me to believe, Tone, that another thing Sully said was he loves the draft prospect and the draft in general. And he said he would love to get more assets.
Yeah.
I think people are going to come calling for Waddle. I think it's known. I think there's interest across the league. And if I'm going to hold Sully to those standards, I don't think Sully would get rid of him for nothing, right? But if some of the offers that we got, let's say at the trade deadline, if a team comes calling, Tone, with a first and a third or something like that, I think Waddle's up out of here. So I'm going to say 50-50 because, again, we don't know what this current regime is thinking. But if we're just going to listen to what they're saying, they're basically saying that they want Waddle to be in their future plans. I just think that if a team calls them and gives them an offer where they can't refuse, I do think ultimately they would trade him if that happens. So I'll say 50-50.
Shout out to the producer in the back. Waddle gets traded if the price is right.
Pretty much exactly what I was saying. Yep. I agree with that.
Listen, 27 of y'all in the building. Make sure y'all subscribe. We rolled to 900, right? So y'all make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button as well. And put the notifications on. Click on that notification bell so y'all know we go live every Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And during the season, Sundays, we do the play-by-play. Sometimes Mondays, sometimes Thursdays as well. But make sure y'all hit that subscribe button. Appreciate everyone that subscribed. And shout out to all our new subscribers. That if y'all here, shout out to y'all. And, of course, everyone that's been rocking with us from day one. Our mods, and everyone in the chat. Best chat on YouTube, hands down. But me personally, Lou, listen to what they're saying. I take everything with a grain of salt. For instance, I think they're saying everything that they're supposed to be saying. When it comes to Waddle, let's just say if they are trying to trade him and if they are actively on the phones and seeking a trade, I'll be out here telling people, he's a major part of this franchise. I want him to be here, how great he is, because I'm trying to keep that value up. Now, I'm not saying that's what's going on, but even if it was the case, then yes, they're saying all the right things. Everyone, especially your big name targets, have great value, and you're not looking to move off of them. So anyone that's come calling, first of all, you're going to come correct, because this is not a guy that I'm looking forward to moving off of, at least to the public. But you bring me an offer that I can't refuse, go ahead, I'm going to take it. But I'm not going to make it easy for you, and I'm most definitely I'm not going to go out in the public and just make it seem like I'm actively trading these guys. I'm not putting them on a trading block because that devalues their value. So, yeah. But if I had to put a percentage on it, I'm more 60-40. Especially like Waddle, I don't know. That him not mentioning Waddle at first, I think that was subconscious. Now you say, I think you believe he did that on purpose. I'm sorry. I think it was subconscious. You know how you just talking and you already have the guys in mind that you do. I mean, that you feel like you want to move forward with. And I just don't think Waddle was one of them guys, or they probably obviously understood the draft capital that was offered for Waddle last season, and they was like, hey, do he fit our profile? And would we rather have Waddle on this team, or would we rather have a first and a third to help us kickstart our rebuild of this team and getting the type of players that we want and the players that fit our profile? We can look at it from both standpoints or both point of views. So, me personally, I think it's more 60-40 leaning towards Waddle not being here. But now I want to say this because I know we ran the show, right? And don't worry, we see all y'all. We see y'all out there. We understand. I know y'all watching. Me and Lou mindset of what we feel like the team should do and what we think that the team is actually going to do is two different things. I think they should move off of anyone that have that weak mindset. That's just my personal opinion. And I believe my co-hosts have those same feelings, right, towards how he feels this team should be built. Now, can you win with a guy like Waddle on your team? Yes. Can you win with a guy like HN on your team? Yes. Do I mind keeping him? No. But what I do want is, especially for our leaders, I want those guys to be the hard, tough-nosed guys that get in your face. The guys that's going to be on the sideline and see that things aren't going the way that we need it to be going for us to win a game, and you see them act immediately and not just complain about it. We need guys with that leadership mentality on here. So, yeah, I mean, Waddle, I'm still a fan of Waddle, but I'm just not a fan of that mindset if you're going to have those type of guys in your leadership roles. So, but I could sit here and be honest and say I'm still only 60-40 because I'm not just giving Waddle up for anything. He's not one of the ones I'm going to give up for a bag of chips, especially when you got the reports out there that Buffalo offered the first and the third. And we know at least the Giants offered at least a first rounder. So I'll just leave that right there, But so Lou, outside, did you talk about Malik? I'm sorry, when I left, you talked about Malik Washington, Taj Washington, and
Yeah, bro. Again, I think Malik Washington definitely has value for a team. If you're telling me he's a third receiver, a fourth option, a good option in the return game on special teams, again, he's that kind of guy. So I'm fine, especially being on a rookie deal. But to be honest, outside of Malik Washington and Waddle, we don't know nothing about Taj because he virtually hasn't played.
Right.
We don't know nothing about Terrence Marshall. We don't know nothing about Darrell Weiss. Like, outside of those two, we have nothing. So, again, bro, the more and more I think about it, Tone, and especially if we do move Waddle, bro, wide receiver has to be a priority in this draft. I know we've been talking about linebackers. No, I get it, Tone. I'm just saying, we might have to start thinking about life again after Waddle or even with Waddle. We still have to, bro, we got to get some youth and talent in that room, bro. We have to get a guy. Because if not, bro, this thing is going to be bare, is all I'm saying. To me, Tone, the Malik Washingtons, the Taj Washingtons, and everything else we have in that room, it's just a bunch of guys.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't look at none of those guys outside of Waddle, Malik Washington included, to be a game changer, to be a guy that we can lean on in the game and say, hey, listen, they're taking Waddle away. Again, Malik, you're going to be the guy for this game. I don't think Malik is that kind of guy, especially down like now where he is in his career. I don't, again, outside of Waddle, Tone, I don't trust nobody in this room, to be honest with you.
Yep. And I think that's a good point to make, that especially when it comes to size, we don't know too much of what these guys bring to the table. And we most definitely don't know if they fit the profile that Sully or Hafley is looking for. And Waddle, the only one that brings value. So, if you want to keep him around to be that, that guy to, bring and help the younger receivers develop, then I'm all for it. But listen, speaking of, guys and when we should target receivers, vote in the poll. We have a poll in the make sure y'all vote in the poll in the chat. I believe it's about what round should we draft our wide receivers. Make sure y'all vote. I see right now what's winning. Okay, I ain't gonna tell y'all what's winning. Y'all go ahead and vote, man. 31 of y'all in the building. Make sure y'all hit that like button. Subscribe, people. Subscribe. Now, Lou, after all that being said, here's the question that you brought up. Speaking of wide receiver being a priority, what round do you think we should target, guys? And we got to give a couple of our guys that we think that we should be targeting. Lou, oh shucks, okay, there you go, my bad. So what round do you think we should that first question is what round you think we should target these guys in?
Man, Tone, it is tough, man. Because there's so many holes, right? I think again, from the D-line position, specifically edge rusher, I think that's a priority. Wide receiver room, priority.
So let me rephrase the question then.
Okay.
What round you like? Okay, we can't get past this round without at least addressing wide receiver. Now, keep in mind we have 2 seconds or one. I know we got 3/3.
We got, I believe 1 second.
Okay, so yeah, so keep in mind we got 3/3. So,
Okay, well, Tone, it all becomes what's going on in the draft, right? I'm going to take the first round out. I'm not going wide receiver first round. I'm not going wide receiver at 11. So I'm going to, outside of first round now, if we're getting into the second round before we pick, or even in the first, like if there's a run on wide receivers, like if it's wide receiver, if they're just flying off the board, then I could understand if the Dolphins, let's say, win in the second round and got a guy. If it was me, though, I would say with one of those third round picks, that would be the sweet spot for me to go get one of the receivers. But again, that all goes, I want to preface the answer, Tone, by, because again, if the wide receivers are just going and they're flying off the board, then I wouldn't be mad if the Dolphins win in the second round and got one of their guys. But for me, realistically, I would say third round.
Okay. I'm not mad if they go second round. I'm gonna be honest with you.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not mad. But if I have to answer my question, what round did I think we should not leave without addressing? That third round. Like if you don't address it first or second, then for sure in the third round. So that's how I'm looking at it. And if, especially with the guys that we're gonna have on this roster, and if they plan on moving off of Waddle, let me ask you this question: what if they get another second? Well, if someone give you a first and a third, that now you have 2 firsts.
Well, depending.
Go ahead.
I'll be honest. If I got a first though for Waddle, I wouldn't want the first in this draft. I would want the first in 27.
Like the Buffalo deal. Okay.
Like the Buffalo deal.
Buffalo. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't want a first in the 2026 draft. I would want it. That's why, for me, I would have took that deal that Buffalo gave us last year at the deadline. Because I would have had 4 third-rounders this year and 2 first-rounders next year. I would have took that deal.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, like I said earlier, my only problem, well, not my only problem, I'm not mad at them. The only reason I'm not killing them for not taking that deal is because it was Buffalo and it's in a divisional foe. But 2020 hindsight, they should have took that deal. Especially a first in next year's draft. That's where the value at. Next year. The prospects coming out next year is night and day compared to this year. That's one of the most loaded drafts in history based on, the projection. You know what I'm saying? So, but, they didn't do it. So let's see what they can pull off this offseason, even if they move off of Waddle. Now, Luke, so speaking of that third round, you want to give us, a couple of guys you think you should be targeting around that round? Or just give me some of your prospects, first of all, before we even get into specific rounds.
Okay, so I'll start off real quick, Tone, with the top 3 guys that they're projecting in the draft, and I won't be long. You got the Carnell Tates of the world at Ohio State, 6'3", yep. So he fits your profile, big receiver, right? Only 195 pounds, though, at 6'3".
Dad. Mm-hmm.
So I was looking at that, and again, 4 or 5 speed. That's what they're projected. He's a 4 or 5 guy, right?
Yep.
Jordan Tyson, Arizona State, injury concerns. That's the only thing I really don't like about Jordan Tyson. Other than that, listen, 6'2", 200, 4 or 5 speed as well. I think Jordan Tyson is a guy that, outside of the injury concerns, very good. Malachi Lemon, USC. Tone, 5'11".
4'4".
4'4" guy though, 195.
Yeah.
Shout out to our co-host Jess. Jess mentioned the guy Denzel Boston out of Washington. 6'4", 210. 4.5 speed, Tone. Right? If you're telling me a guy like that is in the second round and you want to go get a guy like that, am I mad at it? No, I'm not mad at it.
Yeah, that's what I was going to ask. Let's stop when you get to Denzel, because let's not, let's trim the fat this episode, because I want to get in straight into the meat and potatoes of the show.
Okay, yeah.
Cornell Tate, Jordan Tyson, Malachi Lemon. Neither one of us think we're
not getting those three.
No. We're not getting them. Good. Let's stop where you start right there, because you got someone that's on my list, so we both can talk about this guy. Let's discuss this guy.
Absolutely.
Denzel Boston. So are you saying the highest you will go is like a second round?
Well, again, it goes to what the draft board is doing. If there's a rash on him and he's sitting there at the second, would I be mad if the Dolphins ended up with a 6'4" receiver? I would not.
So you wouldn't mind them taking that, using our second round on a guy like Denzel Boston?
It wouldn't be my first choice, right?
Okay.
It wouldn't be my first, but would I be mad? Like, would I go into a space or you two when we do our show, and would I be killing them for that draft pick? No, I would not.
Okay.
But, again, that wouldn't be my first choice in the second round.
Okay. See, because Denzel Boston, I was like, I like him. 6'4", 4'5", 2. I prefer my receivers 4'4" at least. But listen, one thing I noticed in this draft, a lot of the top guys, they run a 4'5", 4'4" guys. You don't really got too many burners out here.
I see that, yeah.
There aren't too many burners. And you know what? In today's NFL, you really don't need those burners. You need people that know how to get open.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? So let's keep that in mind. But yeah, so Denzel Boston, me personally, he won't be my first choice in the second round. I'm more leaning towards how you feel about that. Not gonna be mad at it. I'm not, especially the frame. The 6'4", 209. I would love to see him more around the 215 range, right?
Mm-hmm.
And then because you carry that frame, you like the taller you are, the heavier you are. People don't understand that. So you could be tall and slender, but you're going to weigh more than a guy that's probably like 2 inches shorter than you, but they look heavy. So just keep that in mind. So I'll prefer to see 215 on that 6'4" frame, but I'm not mad at him.
I'm definitely not mad at him. No, for sure. Again, could he add on some pounds? Sure, absolutely. But I think he has a lot of things that you could like, for sure.
Yeah. That's one thing I'll say, a lot of things, and he can high point the ball. See, we need red zone targets.
Absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? So I'm gonna have a theme that I'm gonna be pointing out, and Denzel Boston kind of falls in this theme. When I'm looking at these guys, right? And I'm like, okay, who I want to invest in. Denzel Boston have one of the things that I'm like, okay, I need that. And you know what that is, Lou? Touchdowns. 11 of them things. Right? So when I look at it, I'm like, okay, he gave me 11 touchdowns. I need that. I could deal with that. But there's one common theme, and I'm going to say this out in front right now so y'all can understand. He's one of the ones that it's not too much on him. A lot of these guys, they don't have their better games against the big time talent. Right? You remember when you brought to me Nick Emanwari? What was your first thing? You say, you know what, Tone? He seemed to make his best plays in the biggest moments. Remember that? I went to go do a little research on these guys. I'm like, Denzel Boston is one of the only ones that at least, right, when he went up Oregon, right, 2 touchdowns to get, or I think it was Oregon or Illinois. I was just thinking about the team that he had ranked. I know he didn't have a pretty good game against let me try to look it up real quick. But I know he didn't have a particular good game against Ohio State. But when he went up against Oregon, let me see. Yeah, 2 touchdowns against Oregon. Ranked when Illinois is ranked 153 and a touchdown. Right? I'm like, okay, at least he's showing up in those big games. And at Washington, you don't have too many big games, so I only have a small sample size to go by. But you gonna tell me you gonna give me a 6'4" guy that can give me 11 touchdowns? You can't coach height, right? You can't coach toughness. So yeah, and you right, he don't shy away from blocking, Lou. So I like that. What are your thoughts on that part about like him not how he show up and get in those big games?
Oh, listen, Tone, I'm with you. I've watched a little tape on him, this, that, and the third, but again, I didn't do that much of a deep dive on him like you did. There's a couple other guys I did, but that's a very good point. Listen, we talk about it all the time from the quarterback position, right? And we've highlighted Tua's struggles against the upper tier talent. He don't look the same. So I think that's a very good point about Denzel Boston. Like, if in the biggest moments you're showing up and you're doing your thing, I mean, that's all you can ask for. Right. And I again, breaking down the film, the last thing you said about he's a willing blocker. That's another thing, especially in this scheme. You look at Mike McDaniel when he was here year one, he brought over Trent Sherfield. He brought over the guys like River Craycraft. Not the biggest and brightest things from a receiving standpoint, but what did they do extremely well? Block on the outside for the running backs, getting, holding up their blocks, creating more lanes. So yeah, bro, listen, from that standpoint alone, Denzel Boston is definitely a guy Miami should be looking at for sure. Absolutely.
That's a fact. You know what I'm saying? And I see Washington State, that's a rivalry, in-state rivalry. Another game, 107, 2 touchdowns. Those type of things, those pop out for me. Because I understand, the saying down here, big time players make big time plays in big time games. I'll prefer a guy that show up in a big time game as rather than the guy that have the good numbers, but he tend to shrink in the big games. No. I need you to be at your best when we're playing against the best, or when the moment the pressure is at its highest. And he seemed to be at least trending in that direction. So you got it. Denzel Boston. Let me throw out a guy to you. You know what I'm saying? What about Chris Brazil? Chris Brazil. Out of Tennessee. 6'5", 4'3", 200 pounds. Now that 200 pounds, a little slender. What do you think? Are you think about him maybe in the second round? Me personally, I was like, either second or third, I'm not mad at him, right? He wouldn't be my first pick, technically. But, bro, that 6'5" frame, that's one of the things that they say, Luke, can't coach it.
Tone, again, great minds think alike. Chris Brazil is on my list. So, yeah, look,
Brazil,
again,
that's how you say it, right? Brazil? Okay.
Yep, Chris Brazil. The 200 pounds on a 6'5" frame, he needs to bulk up, I would say, a little bit for me. But again, 4.5 speed. So that's why I asked the question earlier. If we're getting size, are we good with giving up a little speed? I would say yes. But yeah, there's some things I like about Chris Brazil as well, Tone. I think the second round would be a little rich for my blood. That's just me. Okay. Now, if he's there in the third round and you want to, take a chance there, would I be mad at it? No, but yeah, I would. That wouldn't be my first choice, and I would probably in the second round. Again, for me, I just think it's a little too rich.
What about one of the thirds, or what would your ideal say? Okay, we'll go get him third, fourth. What you?
Again, in the third, I wouldn't be mad at it. again, we got 3 third-round picks, so I wouldn't be mad. But if I could get a guy like that in the 4th round, again, it all depends on what the draft does, Tone. Like,
Yeah.
if the board is falling and receivers are just going, again, these are the guys you gotta get one before they're all gone. So, but I would say 3rd round, at least for me, that's where the starting point is for a guy named like Chris Bradley. I'm not going like 1st or 2nd round for him. 3rd round and beyond, I wouldn't be mad at it.
Well, I just know, like, just doing a little research, some people have them as a late first.
I know, and it's crazy.
Like,
and it's
late
crazy.
first. And I was like, for me, no, can't do it. You know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna say I can't do it, but it's not my preference. Like, no. But yeah, so I wanted to, throw that. You said Denzel Boston. You had Joe 6'4" dude. I said, I'll raise you a 6'5" dude. You know what I'm saying? If we talk about size, but both of them run a 4.5 in the 4.5 range. Oh, he's another one, Lou. When I'm going to see, when do you show up? Now, last season, guess what? His best game was against who? Georgia. 3 touchdowns. Let me see if I can put up his stats. Let me see. Let me go. Hold on. Give me a second, though. Yeah, boom. Georgia. 6 receptions, 177, 3 touchdowns.
Big game.
You know what I'm saying? Now they played Alabama. He didn't have a touchdown. He still had 7 catches, though, 66. You know what I'm saying? So he's still involved. Not getting shut down. 7 catches. Okay, you still getting your targets, right? Oklahoma, another 6 catches. 68 yards, no touchdowns, though. No, had a big game against Kentucky. 138 and a touchdown. So I'm looking at him, and then at the end of the season, that rivalry game, even though they lost, guess what? 6 touchdowns, 91 yards. 6 receptions again, 91 yards and a touchdown. Give me a 6'5" guy that give me 9 touchdowns. What we doing? You understand? So at least I know you know how to get in that end zone. So just keep that in mind. So anyone else?
Well, let's stay on the big game narratives. One of the best defenses in college football this season was the Miami Hurricanes.
Facts. Don't tell me you finna say my guy.
Again, he's not as big. See, we started with 6'4", 6'5" guys.
I think you got my guy, dog.
Well, how about a 6'2", 220-pound 4'4" guy and Chris Bell?
Yes, there you go. I got 2 days. 2 shows in a row. Lou took one of my. Okay, I see you. Go ahead.
Now I'm just saying, Toe. We talking about big games. The Hurricanes had one of them ones on defense. We all know what that defense was about. I don't know if anybody watched that Louisville game. That man was a man amongst boys, it looked like in that game.
Lou, man, you remember what I say wasn't my first choice? I'm like, if I had my first choice in the 2nd, 3rd round, I'm looking at Chris Bell.
I'm looking at him too. Now, Tone, let me ask you this. Does the injury concern you at all?
Yes, obviously it's going to concern. We'll be hypocrites if we sit in here and say that it's not going to. Yes, it's going to concern you for sure. But that's what they end up. Straight to conditioning. You make sure you get them. Hey, keep yourself healthy, and do your thing. He came back, so it ain't like it was season ending or nothing like that. You feel me? So yeah. But yeah, Lou, I like the way you're thinking. And again, Lou, you said against the Miami Hurricanes, Pitt was good that year. Big game against Pitt.
Absolutely.
Right before us, Virginia. Big game against Virginia. Better game against Virginia. So I like when guys show up in them big games. That's what I like. So yeah, man. But go ahead, Lou. I'm sorry I took your thunder, but that was someone that I was like, yeah. I don't see too many people talk about Chris Bell. I didn't see too many people.
There's not a lot of people that talk about Chris Bell. No, Tom, do your thing. If you got more than Chris Bell, do your thing. You got anything else you want to?
No. You said. Listen, my whole thing I was showing. I was gonna let you know is listen. What I be looking at I mean, looking forward when I'm looking at my prospects. How are you showing up in the big games? Because I seen somebody put it earlier. They were like, everybody look good in college. For the most part, they do. If you wanted them, you wanted them. But when you going up against those NFL type talent, do those skill sets show up then? And his do. It seemed like he shined in the big moments. Like, you have them players that be like, man, you know what I'm saying? I want to shine in the big moment. It just, for some reason, they had a knack for big games. You need guys like that. You need them. Kind of like, what's the receiver that was for Buffalo? They let him leave and then brought him back. He was the one that had the 3 touchdowns to get Kansas City. God.
Buffalo.
Yeah. The 13-second game.
Oh, Gabe Davis.
Gabe Davis. Dude ain't do nothing all season, but every big game, that man's showing up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So, I'm looking at these guys say, hey, man, listen, what are you doing in your big games? And he's one of the ones. 4'4", now 6'2". That's border. My theme, and it seemed like it's your theme too, so great minds think alike. Bro, 6'2" or better. I don't want no receivers below 6'2" anymore. I'm so tired of it.
Well, again, I was going to give you a name. This kid is intriguing to me.
Go ahead.
But he doesn't fit the bill of 6'2".
Go ahead.
He's 6 foot 200. He's a 4'4" guy out of Indiana.
Yeah.
Omar Cooper Jr.
Yeah.
Tone, there's a lot to like with Omar Cooper Jr. Again, bro, like, it's the size, because I'm with you. Maybe it's just the PTSD. When you hear 6 foot, you don't think of the biggest guy. But again, bro, like, there was a couple games in Indiana this season, right? We know they played in some big games. He showed up, right? A lot of times when I was throwing on and watching some of the tape, bro, he gives you everything you want. The element of speed is that he just don't have the size. But even at 6 foot 200, it's not like he's a small guy. He's physical, right? He plays with a little edge to him.
See, I'll tell you this, Lou, and not to cut you off.
No,
that 201 at 6 foot, that's physical.
Oh, absolutely.
You get what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So he have that going for him.
Tone, they've been. I've seen here the past like 2 days, right? There have been comparisons of Jarvis Landry. That's the type of receiver when you see him, right? It's the dog in him, bro. He is one of the ones that, again, bro, he is very intriguing to me. Outside of the 6 foot, a lot to like with Omar Cooper Jr. I'll give you another guy, Tone, right in your backyard. From LSU, transferred to Miami, CJ Daniels.
That's yeah. I was going to throw. Hey,
6'2",
I was going to raise you up.
You know what I'm saying? 6'2", 205, 4'4" speed, Tone. What we talking about? You know what I'm saying?
So that's what I was gonna come off. I say, okay, you gave me your 6'2" guy, then I got CJ Daniels for me. He runs a 4'4". You know what I'm saying? So injuries again, Lou. Right? It just seemed like it's a
concern. Yep.
That you have to concern. But see, I'm a UM fan. See, when everybody was like, oh, we need a guy to step up when they key on Malachi Tony. Guess who that was? CJ Daniels. And you know what? Just a lot of the things that when I'm looking at these guys, it's like you see how you say Omar Cooper mindset. Don't shy away from the big moment. What the one thing that we wanted for our team in previous years, especially under the Mike McDaniel regime, we need players with that mindset.
Tough-minded players, bro.
Dog-like mentality. So these guys that you're naming and that we're bringing up fits that bill of the right mindset, right? Now, this is not the biggest, guys that blow you away and say, oh, you must have. But these are guys that you could come on and be a professional and have the mindset to fit your type of team that you could start to build around. You build with character, you build with skill set, but you also build with guys that you can trust in your locker room and trust that's gonna show up for you on Sundays, on game days. And I think CJ Daniels, is one of those guys. Chris Bell is one of those guys for sure gonna show up. So that I like that one, Lou. I like and 205 at 6'2".
Oh, 205, 6'2", 4'4" guy, right? Tone, I'm gonna give you one more, and then I'm gonna give you my sleeper. So the last one I'm gonna give you, out of Indiana as well, in my opinion, Elijah. Maybe I'm saying his name wrong. Scarrett, however you want to say it, right?
Oh, Elijah Surratt. You talking about Indiana?
Elijah Surratt out of Indiana.
Yeah.
Now he's 6'2", he's 210. Now, speed is not his strong suit, Tone. He's a 4'6" guy, right? Tone, I don't know if you watched Indiana football this season. In my opinion, he's one of the best route runners coming out in this draft.
He's the one that keep on Mendoza keep hitting with that back shoulder fade.
Tone, if the ball hits his hands, he ain't dropping it. The man got glued for hands, Tone, and an exceptional route runner. This is a guy right here, again, bro. If he's sitting there in the third round, I like 6'2", 210, a sure-handed guy, right?
I got one major concern for him.
Okay, what's that?
He's projected to run in the 4.6 range.
Yeah, he's a 4.6 guy, absolutely. Yeah.
But I just said earlier,
Jerry Rice
football speed because Jerry Rice ran a 4.6.
hey, that is a concern. I don't want to say it's a concern, but again, it's 4.6. It is what it is. He's not running away from anybody. But I'll give you a guy that can run away from people, Tone, and it's my sleeper. Ted Hurst out of Georgia State.
6'3".
6'3", 195. You know what he's projected to run, Tone, at 6'3"?
4.4?
4.3.
4.3. Ooh.
Yeah. They're saying now again, it's possible he runs a 4.3.
Ooh.
Lord have mercy. Hey, Tone, I don't know. Have you watched any tape on Ted Hurst?
Yes, I got him on my I got him on my list, Lou. So I think you let me see. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, you got everyone. I only got one other guy on there that you don't have, but go ahead.
Tone, you want to talk about a guy with a dog mentality. You want to talk about a guy that goes up when he sees the ball. He's going to go up there, high point the ball. He don't care what the defender looks like. When the ball's in the air, it's Ted Hurst. Bro, 6'3", 195. Do I think he could add a little weight on? Absolutely. I think if you get him on the right plan and stuff, he could easily get into the 200 range. That's my sleeper. And I'll be honest, out of all the guys, right, if it was me, and again, hot take maybe, and I could be dead wrong, but when we're talking about sleepers, bro, if he's sitting there, and again, I think when he gets to this combine, Tone, I think he's going to, from a intangible standpoints, like vertical jump, speed, aspects of that, again, when the running and catching and stuff, I think he's going to blow all that out the water, Tone. In the second round, hey, man, listen, especially if we're keeping Waddle, you get Waddle with what he can do, Tone, his speed, and now you get another guy on the opposite of him, 6'3", gives you that same kind of speed, but with the element of jump balls, this, that, and the third. Again, bro, I'm looking at my sleeper for the wide receiver perspective, Tone, is Ted Hurst. But I don't know what you think, but that's my guy as a sleeper.
No, I have him as 185, not 195. So that was a major concern of mine. You can put some weight on him. You 6'3", build out that frame. That's cool. I'm not too much. I'm not going to hop on that. Now, the thing that like I said, big games. They played 2 FBS schools this year. Combined, he have 8 receptions and 77 yards. No touchdown.
Hey, and I get it. Yeah,
so
I get it.
That would be my only, you know what I'm saying? Like, I would like to see that talent show up, against those high level, but you never know. I don't know who the receiver of the quarterback was over there and how his game went. So I'm not gonna put that 100% on that. I didn't do a lot of film on him, right? But that would be just something to think about. But what I would say is at 6'3", if he do run that 4.3, oh, trust me, he's shooting up boards. He's shooting up the board because you could coach him to be the type of guy you want. When all these guys have the measurables and all they have to do is show the potential, it's up to the coaches to find those guys. Be like, okay, you go find a Randy Moss at Marshall. You know what I'm saying? That you go find guys out of that. So things like that is what I'm like, oh, okay, don't put too much into where they went to college at. Just tell me talk to me about the prospect. So I like the fact that you went Georgia State, right?
Yes.
Yeah, Georgia State. Now, that's crazy. And just for y'all to understand, we do not go over notes before we get here because I like to have some debates. Y'all know how we get. We like to debate. So the fact that this is 2 shows in a row that Lou had at least this one he had 90%. Basically 99% of everyone that I had. The only one that I have on here that you don't have is Malachi Fields, right? Out of Notre Dame.
Yeah, absolutely.
4'5", 223. That's the only one that I have on my list that I looked up that you don't have. So I like to see, because without even talking to each other and understanding our thought process, I like the fact that we had common receivers and prototype builds that we were looking for. Like that profile, it seemed like we're right there, locked up with the profile of the guys that we're looking at. Now, Malachi Field, he showed up in the Senior Bowl, right? And that's when he started turning heads. His production wasn't too much, wasn't there for me. But again, you give me a 6'4" guy that runs a 4.5 that could use that frame, how point the ball, willing blocker, and especially in this draft, you need. I don't care what we do. We need to get guys with wide receiver frame. I'm so, and it's just not because of the Waddles and the Tyreeks, but I'm just tired of seeing that. I want give me a variety at least. You know what I'm saying? Don't just handcuff me and say, oh, this is the type of guys that we're going for, and you just have that one. Nah, my brother, you got to do better than that. So again, the only thing, like I say, the only kick or pushback that I would have, and this is my prospect, is I need it to show up against in the big games. Now, he didn't have one of his like big games or good showing against none of the top teams like Texas Tech, USC, Pittsburgh. Well, Pittsburgh, he showed up. Pittsburgh, hold on. Let me look. I think that was the one game that he showed up, was in Pittsburgh towards the end of the season. Yeah, 7 catches, 99 yards, and 2 touchdowns, right? But the rest of the big names, three out of the 4, you didn't show up. I would love for you to improve on your big game performances, but for the most part, we looking for guys. If y'all could peep the common theme, bigger, more physical, taller receivers is what we're looking for. And in this draft, you don't have too many burners. So you know what you have to have? Lou, we always talk about this, right? And I'll say this here. Like, we had a conversation before about Waddle versus Amon-Ra St. Brown. Amon-Ra St. Brown he isn't a burner, but he's a hell of a wide receiver. And, I remember saying that tells me that he has to perfect his craft, his route running, his understanding of zone, the sweet spot, understanding the coverages. for him to be so productive the way he is. And when you give me production and you don't have to be a burner, then that lets me know that you perfected your craft. And you understand how to play the sport of football and how to play the position of wide receiver. So when we're looking at these prospects and we thinking about, the ideal people that we want to bring in, please, let's not be those combine shirts and t-shirt guy people, and they'd be like, oh, he ran, a 4.3. He must be good. No. What's the dude name? Shucks. Bro, he got the record now. Well, he had the record before Xavier Worthy just broke it. He ran real fast.
You talking about John Ross?
John Ross. Cincinnati picked him. He burning, blazing speed. 4.1 guy. Man couldn't do nothing in the NFL. Nothing. So it's not all about the speed. But what we are looking for, people that fit that profile, people that have that pedigree, football pedigree. And more specifically for me, I'm looking for guys that shows up in the bigger games, in the big moments, because that usually 9 times out of 10 translate to the NFL, because those are the type of talent that you're going to be facing in the NFL on a game in, game out basis. Keep in mind, every time we bring up these prospects and we talk about who we think would succeed in this league, it's the guys that typically do well against those top and upper echelon teams in college, because everyone in the NFL was considered that guy or that dude on their team in college. Remember, the NFL is made up of the best that's coming out of college. So you have to be used to putting up and performing against those type of guys. That's what I'm looking for. I evaluate a little different, and it varies by position. Remember, when I'm looking at my offensive line, it's a specific type of mindset I'm looking for. A lot of people look at length, and a lot of people look at versatility. A lot of people look at a bunch of different things. Me personally, I'm specific things from each position. Now, I'm not saying for everyone to judge their players the way I do or the way Lou do, but what I'm saying is, so far so good. I would say that. A lot of people like toot their horn, but a lot of prospects that we did, I don't think for the most part we typically we don't miss. And if we do, people have it. Everyone, they miss, but but if we basically put our stamp on someone, for the most part, we don't miss it, because we see something that will translate to the NFL game. And it's not just looking at stats and numbers. See, I could have came up here and gave you all this stuff like to say, oh yeah, he had over 1,000 yards. He had 11 touchdowns. But when I told you he had 11 touchdowns, I told you who was he getting those touchdowns against. Don't tell me you doing it against the Georgia Southerns. You know what I'm saying? The Southern Mississippis, the Liberties. I expect you to do that. What are you doing when you're going up against those Ohio States, the Georgias, UMs, teams with the Michigan? Michigan had a good defense this year. Indiana's, Oregon's, Texas Tech. When you go up against those guys, now show me how you perform. And y'all understand why we say mindset is one of the biggest things we look for. Because you can't coach that. You can't teach that. So when we look at these prospects, it might not be the fancy guy. You notice how quick we moved off of the Makai Lemon and the Carnell Tates and what's the other guy? Jordan Tyson's. We let y'all fantasize about those guys.
Mm-hmm.
No, we're going to talk about them guys that going to make the team, the players that make up your team. First rounders are glitz and glam. Can you hit in the meat and potatoes of the draft? 90% of every team is made up of second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, seventh rounders. We all get enamored by the first rounders, and we gotta have them. No. What about team building? You tell me if I had Denzel Boston next to Waddle, that's not going to help him out? Yes, because I get the defense a different mindset, a different type of guy to prepare for.
Yep. Well, I couldn't agree more, Tone. The fact of the matter is, and I know you'll appreciate this because this is one of your guys that played quarterback. Do you know the Rams got Puka Nacua in the 5th round?
5th round.
Bro, and Puka Nacua right now, you could argue he's the best receiver in the league.
And you'll have an argument there.
A 5th round guy. So to your point, yeah, all the flashy names and the 3 guys that we mentioned, but it was real quick. That's the glitz and glamour that Tone's talking about. Or what a lot of people talk about. The guys that we mentioned today, these are the guys, to Tone's point, that fill out the rosters. Good, solid pieces that, again, can help this team win. And you don't have to bend over backwards to go and waste a 1st round pick on some of these guys. And they have the right mindset, to be honest with you. So, I'm with everything you said, Tone.
And just keep that in mind when like over here, we want the people that listen to us, that comes over here faithfully. We this is not the fluff. We want y'all to understand. And so when we come over here and we're not the happy-go-lucky and we giving our objective tapes and we're being objective about this team, it's because we want y'all to understand what really makes up a football team and what it takes to build a consistent winner. Not just a one and done, or 2 years and out. No, consistency. These are the type of guys you need to look forward to. Right? Listen, 33 of y'all in the building. Subscribe. Help the channel grow. Shout out to all our new subscribers. Hit that notification bell. Hit that like button. If y'all come over here and y'all want to hear guys that give honest takes, and give y'all what we think is needed for this team to succeed, and it's not going to be all fluff and not going to be all good, and we're not looking for every good out of every player, you're in the right spot. You are in the right spots. Unfortunately, me and Lou agreed on a lot of players today, so we didn't get at it like me and Ficetti did last show. But you want 2 people or 4 people. I'm sorry. We got other 2 co-hosts, Ficetti and Jess, that's gonna have their own takes and stand on that and give y'all a good back and forth. You're in the right place. Hit that subscribe button. Make sure y'all here every Monday, Wednesday, Friday around 8ish. And then when the games come back around, we will be doing live play-by-plays on Sundays, Mondays, and sometimes Thursdays. But so that's our wide receiver target. Lou, I'll before we get up out of here, I want to ask you this. How high on a priority is wide receiver? Like if you had to,
Tone, the more and more I think about it again, it's a high priority, especially if we move off of Waddle. But even, again, let's just, for the scenario that Waddle is on this team, it's still a priority because it's Waddle and nothing else. So would I put it as high as, for me, I would say pass rusher is probably 1 on my list. And then I'll be honest, I know a lot of people say we need secondary help. And again, that is, it's warranted. But I think for me, wide receiver might be a bigger issue than the secondary. So I would say wide receiver for me would be 2, secondary would be 3. But for the people that would put secondary ahead of the wide receiver, listen, I wouldn't sit there and argue with you about it. Because again, I think we do need secondary help. But Tone, again, bro, we have to look at it. And I'm not saying you, I'm just saying in general, we all have to look at it. Outside of Waddle, bro, that cupboard is bare in the wide receiver room. It just is what it is.
Yeah.
Don't try to sell me the Malik Washingtons. Don't try to sell me the Taj Washingtons. And then again, the Theo Weiss, could he be something? He could, but we don't know. Terrence Marshall, again, he has the size we want. He has some ability, but he, ever since he's been in the league, he's bounced around a couple places. He hasn't really put that potential and maximized it, right? So again, it's an unknown. So yeah, Tone, whether you want to have it super high or I don't know where it falls for everybody else, but for me, yeah, I think wide receiver is definitely a high priority moving forward. I
Yep.
would say that. Yep.
Now
I
I wouldn't
can't.
say.
You would have the. I know you would have the secondary right over the wide
Yeah,
receiver.
yeah, for
Yeah.
sure. I'm leaning secondary might be my number one over edge. But yeah, I think I'm leaning more to secondary over edge, anyways. So it'll be secondary edge, then wide receiver for me.
Hey, Tone, before we get out of here, real quick, and I think it's G, and I don't know if G means it like this, but in the comment he says, "Get Jacksonville on the phone." I'll ask you, Tone, is there anybody from again the way I see it? Let's say we got 3 third-round picks. If Miami could call Jacksonville, or even with the second, if Miami called Jacksonville right now, and again, there was rumors that maybe Jacksonville was looking to move off of Brian Thomas Jr. Would you be mad if the Dolphins called Jacksonville and gave up that second round pick for Brian Thomas Jr.? Would that be an option for you or anybody else? Like that could be maybe on the move from a wide receiver standpoint?
If they willing to give me Brian Thomas Jr., taking into consideration the height, the production that he can give you, especially in his first season, his age,
Rookie contract.
I'm doing almost anything I can do to go get him. And you know what, Lou? I might say I need him, a second, a third, and I might throw you Waddle. Take Waddle, give me him a second and a third. I'm good with that. We replaced Waddle with a rookie contract, picked up 2 draft picks, right? And I don't care if it's the second could be next year draft. Beat Brian Thomas Jr. in the third this season and the second next season, and we'll give you Waddle. Now I may even throw in a 6th rounder with him. But yeah, I'll be willing to make that trade. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
What about you? What say you, my brother?
Oh yeah, I'm definitely making that trade for sure. Yeah, if I could call Jacksonville and I could pry him away, absolutely, and especially if damn man, it is hard to like say I would give up Waddle, but yeah, I would do it absolutely. To be honest though, Tone, in that scenario, let's say bringing the Brian Thomas Jr. over, I would love to pair him up with Waddle though.
That's fine. I wouldn't be mind with taking them for just a second straightforward. But I was looking at it from more of a standpoint of we need capital, build this roster.
Oh, absolutely, for sure. So if you sent Waddle over there, you would still be looking at some of these guys that we talked about to pair up with Brian Thomas Jr., right?
Fact. That's why I asked for a second and a third.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you. Yeah.
With you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? We good. All big. 6'3" and above, baby. I mean 6'2" and above, all of them. You know what I'm saying?
That's a fact.
Yeah. So I would. Yeah, for sure. But now I think if you're looking at it from a Hafley standpoint, because Sully is Sully, I think he should focus on who we bringing in and the talent. But I think Hafley, and this is why you work hand in hand with your head coach and your GM. Hafley should be looking at it from the standpoint on a standpoint of I would rather have someone in here with some experience to help out with these young guys.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? So I'll understand if they come from that standpoint. But yeah, the second straight up, that's fine because you're getting a first round guy for only a second rounder. And then I don't now if you do that and you keep Waddle, then that wide receiver. Now you're looking for a wide receiver probably at talk about the earliest, maybe one of those thirds. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But I'm more like fourth, fifth round. If you have those two. So, then we might could look at, someone like a Ted Hurts. Ted Hurts. Because what do you think Ted Hurts going? I don't know if you gave me what do you think he's going?
Well, again, depending on what he does at the combine,
Yeah, that combine he might fly out them. Yeah,
I think he could be a second, second, third round guy. He's gonna be somewhere around there. I don't think he creeps up into the first round. I don't think that. But again, bro, if he goes into that combine and he, let's say, hits a home run at the combine, oh yeah, I easily a second, third round guy for sure.
Okay. I like. Well, listen, man. Still 27 of y'all in the building. Hopefully, y'all all did y'all vote in the poll? Yeah, I see y'all we got some. If y'all haven't voted, I'm gonna give y'all like maybe 60 more seconds to vote in the poll. What round should we draft the wide receiver? Go ahead and vote in that poll real quick. Get y'all a couple more minutes. Oh wow, it look like a lot of people thinking like us, Lou. But Lou, before we do that, you got anything else before we get up out of here?
Well, outside of, I just wanted to ask you, how do you think the show was tonight?
Well, as your personal consultant, I would say, man, you did a great job. I think both teams did play hard. I'm very impressed with the fact that you hit on every last one of my prospects except for one, but you did have two extra. So I have to give you bonus points for those. So I say my overall assessment is great job today, man. I think you got what it takes to be a great YouTuber.
Hey, Tone, that means a lot, man. I appreciate it. Hey, Tone, I want to know, why do you think Sean and G2 are in the chat laughing? Why you think Sean said y'all play too much? What you think he mean by that?
If you know, my good brother. If you know,
that's crazy,
hey, listen,
man.
For y'all that hey, listen, oh man, we used to have this stuff. For y'all that don't understand, listen, we do. Shout out to my brother Lou. He took back over. Listen, we do be in spaces, so y'all make sure y'all follow this. We got the Blitz pickup at the Blitz pickup on X. Let me put it up. I can see if I can find it. I had it somewhere. We did have it. Boom. So as you can see it right here. Listen, follow us on X at the Blitz pickup. Follow me at Tony H305 at Lewis. At Come Get Some, the number one at Just Red 1107. We have to add Finsanity in there. Don't tell Finsanity we forgot to put her up there. But I promise you it'll be up there next time. Lewis is that dude. That's a fact. I second that notion, even though he was acting like a goddamn fool earlier with them comments that he didn't like about Jeff Hafley. But I'm gonna let him and EM handle that. Paulo Diaz says, I'm not giving up Waddle. Shout out. Dolphin Don said best value. Oh, okay. So listen, man. With all that being said, we're gonna close the voting. So the poll right now. What round should we draft Waddle? The winner at 51% is third round. So it seems like a lot of y'all are under the same impressions as us that we think it should be the third round that we target the wide receiver. Second place with 42 votes. Oh, wait. Second just got another one now. So it went to 53rd and 42 in the second. So with 42% the second round. So a lot of y'all guys think the second round. So it seemed like a lot of people are high on a wide receiver as a need. They're pretty high on that. And then last at only 8% is 4th through 7th round. So I think a lot of guys, for the most part, 92% of you guys feel like we should address wide receiver within the second and third rounds. And that's 4. We have 4 picks to address that wide receiver. So shout out to y'all for proving that we do have the best chat on YouTube. I don't care what no one else say. Y'all, this is the best chat on YouTube. Facts, hand down. So without all that being said, Lou, Shout out to you, my brother. You want to get us up out of here?
Hey, Tone, shout out to you as well. Great episode,
Oh, and
as
subscribe,
always.
people. Please subscribe. Help us subscribe. Grow the channel. Subscribe. Go ahead.
Y'all know what it is, man. Subscribe. Tell people about us. We do this Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. That will be the next time you see us for the Friday episode of the Blitz Pickup. From my brother Tone, myself, you know who I am. We'll do it again Friday. I don't even know what the topic will be about. I will have a suggestion.
Combine. You know, we get combine. It's gonna be the first day of the combine, but I'll take your suggestion though.
I'm not trying to listen. You know what? I want to talk about Jeff Hafley being better. With that being said, Tone, so I can't get my shit off.
Man, he coached one down. He hasn't coached a single down.
Tone,
he got to be better.
Tone, what I'm saying is, I'm already to the point with Jeff Hafley. He's like Tua. Don't put a microphone in front of his face, Tone. The man's terrible on the microphone.
Oh God, here we go.
Hey man, with that being said, we'll see y'all Friday. Y'all know what it is. It's a Blitz Pickup. Damn, hey, for real. Jeff Hafley, get better, dog.
Shout out to y'all. We out.